Hey there, I'm Joni Deutsch, and you are listening to Mountain Stage to Go, a podcast from NPR Music and West Virginia Public Broadcasting's Mountain Stage. We want to give you a preview of the music you'll hear during the month of May on your favorite NPR member station and on the full-length Mountain Stage podcast. In the words of the 90s boy band NSYNC, it's gonna be May, which means it's going to be a full month of live performances from established artists and emerging talent on your public radio dial. Coming up later in this podcast, we'll hear from blues giant Shemekia Copeland, Pennsylvania folkers The Stray Birds, and a special tribute to Mother's Day by our own Larry Groce. But first, a man who is quite familiar with popping up on podcasts since he himself hosts one. East Nashville songwriter and host of Thanks for Giving a Damn, Otis Gibbs, made his Mountain Stage debut earlier this spring with songs from his new release. He's a big fan of storytelling, as we'll hear in this tale of Sputnik Monroe on Mountain Stage to Go.
In the late 1950s in Memphis, Tennessee, there lived a man named Sputnik Monroe. And Sputnik Monroe was a professional wrestler. Have I lost you yet? Sputnik Monroe was a bad guy or a heel. It was his job to make you hate him so much that you would pay your hard-earned money to see the good guy come and pin him right in the middle of the ring. And he was so good at his job that he would sell out the Ellis Auditorium, thousands of people every Monday night in Memphis, and just so many people. But Sputnik Monroe would hang out down on Beale Street. He was one of the very few white people that you would see down there. And his best friends were the black blues and soul musicians that were playing in the juke joints and the honky-tonks down there on Beale Street. When his friends wanted to come and see him wrestle, they had to sit up in the balcony, because this was the era of Jim Crow in Memphis, and they had to pay the same price as the white people down below. But when Sputnik Monroe would enter the ring, you would hear cheers raining down from his friends in the balcony, which would make the white people sitting below hate him even more. But it quickly became apparent to the African-American population of Memphis that Sputnik Monroe was all right. And Sputnik Monroe realized he was selling this place out every week, and he was making the promoters a lot of money, and he realized there was power in that. So he went up to the promoters and told them, if you don't let my friends sit anywhere that they want to sit, I will stop wrestling and you will lose a lot of money. And the promoters thought about it, and they went ahead and they gave in, and it became the very first desegregated sporting event in the southern part of the United States, all from a professional wrestler. Just think of what the rest of us might be capable of. But not a lot of people know about Sputnik, so since I'm a folk singer, I wrote a song for him, and so more people might find out about him. There's a sing-along part to this. Hopefully you guys will sing along. It would be very awkward if you don't. But the words are standing on the ground where kings stood on the right side of history. I'll sing it a couple times, then I'll ask you guys to join in, and maybe we'll sing so loud that they can hear it in Memphis. Listen to me, people, let me speak to your soul. There's more to Memphis than rock and roll, and there's more to history than what we've been told. This is the story of Sputnik Monroe. Sputnik Monroe was a barrel-chested man. He was a brawler and a grappler with an iron chin. And he stooped to chicanery if it would help him win. He's the last guy you want to offend. Thousands of people paid to see him fight at Ellis Auditorium every Monday night. And the white folks booed and the black folks cheered. He drew money everywhere he appeared. Standing on the ground where kings stood, standing on the ground where kings stood, standing on the ground where kings stood on the right side of history. Are you guys still with me? Late at night, you see him having a drink in the blues halls and juke joints along Beale Street. It was a place where a white man would never go, but it was home to Sputnik Monroe. When his black friends tried to see him fight, they had to sit in the balcony, though they paid the same price as the whites who sat down along ringside. This was the South in 1959. Standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, on the right side of history. Beautiful. In the pool halls in Memphis, they still talk of the night. The Sputnik Monroe refused to fight until all of the people, be they black or white, could sit together side by side. There's a basic language every promoter speaks, based on beers and hands and asses and seats. The promoters gave in and they drew record crowds, the first segregated sporting event in the South. Standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, on the right side of history. You might have buggy whip arms or be a peach-faced puke or a turkey neck afraid to say boo to a goose. But rest assured, even dirtbags like me can be on the right side of history. Sing with me. Standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, on the right side of history. Let me hear you. Standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, on the right side of history. One more. Standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, standing on the ground where King stood, on the right side of history, on the right side of history, in Memphis, Tennessee. Listen to me, people, let me speak to your soul. There's more to Memphis than rock and roll, and there's more to history than what we've been told. This is the story of Sputnik Monroe.
The sins of my father way down in my soul, and the pain of my mother will not let me go. Well, I know there can't come fire from the sky to refine the purest of kings, and even though I know this fire brings me pain, even so, we're just the same. Make it rain down, Lord. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain down, Lord. Make it rain, make it rain. And the seed needs the water, for it grows out of the ground, but it just keeps on getting harder, and the hunger more profound. Well, I know there can come tears from the eyes, but they may as well be in vain. And even though I know these tears come with pain, even so, I'm just the same. Make it rain down, Lord. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain down, Lord. Make it rain, make it rain. And the seas are full of water that stops by the shore, just like hurricanes of grandeur that never reach the board. Let the clouds fill with thunders of blood, and let lightning be the rain. Hail the skies with all that they can draw when it's time to make a change. Make it rain down, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain down, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain down, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain.
Those were the Harmonious Tea Sisters with Make It Rain, a cover of Irish folk soul artist Foy Vance, who actually performed on Mountain Stage less than a year ago. You can find that performance right now in the Mountain Stage podcast feed. Before them, we heard the beautiful lilt of the Claire Lynch Band with Empty Train, and Otis Gibbs at the start with Sputnik Monroe, all of which was recorded in live performance on Mountain Stage. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back in just a minute with more performances. This episode of Mountain Stage to Go is brought to you by Basecamp Printing Company, the official printmaker of Mountain Stage posters. Put a little pep in your professional step with old school printed business cards, thank you cards, invitations, and more. Go to basecampprintingco.com. And if you want something even more exclusive, become a Mountain Stage member and grab one of our limited edition Basecamp prints. With a sustaining gift to Mountain Stage, you'll receive a Go Out and Hear Live Music poster, along with special ticket codes, curated playlist, a Blanco glass record, and more. Sign up today at mountainstage.org/member. Okay, we're back. Now, Mountain Stage isn't just available as a podcast. We're a radio show, heard on over 200 NPR stations across the nation each week, including KSKA Anchorage, Alaska, and WUGA Athens, Georgia. And we're a live show with a live audience. Yeah. If you're starting to make summer road trip plans, make sure to include Mountain Stage in them, whether you're listening to us or actually attending a show. Go to mountainstage.org to find out where, when, and how. Speaking of road trips, we'll travel back to April of this year for 2 shows recorded in different venues, one at the People's Bank Theater in Marietta, Ohio, and the other at the Creative Arts Center on the campus of WVU in Morgantown, West Virginia. Sit back for Shemekia Copeland, Jon Stickley Trio, and the Straybirds on this Mountain Stage to Go.
Come on, y'all, put your hands together me like this. If you sing the song the way it was written, and you march along to the beat of the drum, someday soon you gonna wake up singing. The battle is over, but the war goes on. Everybody plays, follow the leader. But what if the leader picks up a gun? Remember when you jump to the 8 o'clock whistle? The battle is over, but the war goes on. And if you close your eyes when you hear the thunder, and you cry in the rain and smile in the sun, who do you fool but me and your brother? The battle is over, but the war goes on. How about if I ask the music? If talk was money, you'd be a millionaire. If thoughts could kill, there'd be nobody here. So many thinking evil and talking jive. It's only true love keeps this world alive. And if you sing the song the way it was written, and you march along to the beat of the drum,
Thank you so very much.
on the ground. But life is the radio. Go on, change the station. The music is playing, even when you turn it down. Everybody's swearing by a different match. I've seen a few just close their eyes and run. It's a one-way road over a high mountain pass. Raise a glass, light a candle for whoever you come from. Everybody's got a friend who left for good one day. This hometown's got no way of keeping anyone around. But life is a radio. Go on, change the station. The music is playing, even when you turn it down. Yeah, life is a radio. Go on, change the station. The music is playing, even when you turn it down. Life is a radio. 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 Is a
Started out as buskers and now they're here. That was the Stray Birds from Pennsylvania with Radio as recorded in live performance radio on Mountain Stage. We also heard the dynamic Asheville troupe Jon Stickley Trio with Darth Radar and blistering soul shouter Shemekia Copeland with the reminder that the battle is over, but the war goes on. Of course, this is just a sampling of the full performances you'll be able to hear on your favorite public radio station and on the full-length Mountain Stage podcast in the weeks to come. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Mountain Stage to Go. If you're looking for more Mountain Stage fun, make sure to follow us on social media. We are at Mountain Stage, and keep an eye on mountainstage.org. And if you're looking for more podcasty fun, check out our podcast friends at West Virginia Public Broadcasting. Paste Magazine and Smithsonian Magazine both recommend the cultural divide conversations within the Us and Them podcast, not to mention the heartfelt stories of Appalachians and the struggle to stay in the Inside Appalachia podcast. You can find them now at wvpublic.org/podcast. So, did you know that Mother's Day is May 14th? Okay, maybe you did. But did you know Mother's Day began in Grafton, West Virginia? Back in 2008, Mountain Stage recorded a special episode at the Mother's Day Shrine for the 100th celebration of Mother's Day. Our own Larry Groce did a set of mother songs for it, including this song right here, which we suggest sharing with the lovely maternal figure in your life. Now go on and hear some live music wherever you are, maybe with your mother, just as soon as you can. And make sure to take Mountain Stage to go.
I saw the yearbook picture. It was a class of 46. The hairdos are long and curly, and the eyes are full of tricks. Great War had just finished, and the boys were coming home. Once again the high school kids could laugh and carry on. But meanwhile back in Dallas, they had not even met. My daddy was a soldier, my mama was a majorette. Her smile was like a little girl, she was twirling her baton. Behind her was a football field, the band was marching on. Her life to me is like a star, so very far away. Shines out through the photograph of that November day. Meanwhile, he was on a ship, he had not seen her yet. My daddy was a soldier, and mama was a majorette. Well, they lived through the good and the bad times, the laughter and the tears. They had 3 children, they moved around, they've been married for all of these years. But to the young girl in that photograph, so much was unforeseen. I wish I could look inside of her head when she was 17. She never thought she would have a kid who would sing this song, I bet. And Daddy was a soldier, and Mama was a majorette. When my daddy was just a soldier boy, and my mama was a majorette.